There's no unpopular opinions here.
Feel free to have whatever opinion that floats your boat.
We don't agree on anything.
Give me back the pants.
When you say Scott Peterson guilty, then I will.
If there's a dog that's loose, I am the person who's going to go get the dog.
Oh God.
And it's about the fact. See, told you I can't even do it when she's on here. I can't even do it when she's
Nope.
No, because I can't even get the point. She's like, oh.
I'm sure this is gonna feel awkward now, but I don't care. Let's do it. Let's go.
This is actually a good one. This is a good discussion because this does. I mean, how do you guys feel in chat?
We all came together for true crime, and let's focus on helping anybody that we possibly can in any of these cases, or at least spreading awareness on them. Leave the drama behind.
And just thank you guys. I appreciate it more than any of you know. I've had a long week. I know a bunch of hoes out here.
Hey everybody! Oh my gosh, that makes me laugh every time I listen to it. Okay,
all 400, 300 are mine.
300 are mine. Well, then what happened to my 300? IKW, BR the Star, Mel Max, CDT, Shelly Ann. Hi everybody. So I don't know if you guys have watched that, but she does have that little.
Four people missed it. Play it again.
Should we play it again? Crazy Crime Chick. I do. I think that's so. It's just so funny. You did such a good job with it though too. But I love when Michelle pops up. Michelle's like, so I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of it?
I'm nervous. I'm like, Pat, help.
Hi, Misty.
Teresa's like, give me back the pants, please. Give me.
What
back.
was I even talking about that you clipped that from? What pants?
My daughter's pants that the neighbors took.
Oh, that's right. The pants. The pants. Oh man.
Now 9 people have missed it. Play.
9 people have missed it. We'll have to play it again. Well, it's also posted, so we can also they can just go watch it.
Right
Not very long. It's just for funsies.
Yeah.
All right. Missy. Hi, Barb. Let's get this out of the way. Where's Ursa? Oh gosh, who knows? That dog is like, she crazy. Ursa, come here. She's very smart though. Ursa, come here. Ursa, right here. Oh, you were digging in water. I can tell it's all over your face. Come here. Oh my gosh, Barb, you're lucky. I love you. Thing's all wet. Say hi to the camera. Up here. Nope, not my face. Okay, no, not my face. Not my face. There, dog. Oh, there, dog.
She's like,
a few more weeks, I'm not going to be able to do this.
her.
Oh. Now I just want to go take a shower. She was playing in the water.
Look at my cat.
Baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Like covered in like dog wet. She's a heathen. She is very cute. She is very cute, but she is, man, all over the place. She crazy.
Her eyes are beautiful.
I know. She looks so cool. I love her.
No,
now she's chewing on something. Oh, and she loves sticks, and she just eats them till like they're a regular bone.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm like, why do you want to eat wood? Hi, Jennifer Delaney. You're very welcome, Barb. That's why I said you're lucky. I love you because now, like, as soon as I get off this live, I need to go take a shower.
So you know why I really have this puppy video? Because one of my favorite judges has said, they were like during a trial I watched, there was a judge that said that if you watch people who watch 5 minutes of dog videos, happy, like funny dog videos or something, are just like happier people and feel more fulfilled. And I was like, I'm with that.
I appreciate that. I really do, because I do it when I want to like just chill and relax. I do. I find like funny dog animal videos.
I love it.
And then I send them to Barb. And then Barb's like, I posted that one already, but nice try. All right. Do you want to play the dog video? It's a cool video.
Yeah. While people are joining, play it.
Okay.
Chico is a 1-year-old husky and German shepherd mix.
I got a thing for dogs that just look like wolves. He looks like a wolf, I think.
But Chico is anything but wolf-like.
We're gonna have him at my dad's store, to be a guard dog, but he's just doesn't take stuff seriously.
He loves to play fetch.
Well, usually he just drops it and lets it roll around, then I grab it and I throw it again.
But one morning, it was his owner Edward who'd have to fetch him.
They posted that picture at 3:30 a.m.
While Edward was asleep, Chico ran out the gate.
Started chewing it.
And you've never taken him to the police station before?
No.
And that's exactly where he went. Chico blowing up social media that morning with photos of his furry self greeting employees at the Odessa Police Department, a mile away from Edward's home.
That's kind of cool, He knows where to go.
But the post circulated to where it even caught the attention of Edward's nephew.
He asked me, "Is that Chico?" And I'm all like, "Well, yeah." And I came outside and checked that he was here already.
And that's exactly right. After Chico said his hellos to the department, it may have been his curfew calling because he ran out OPD's doors and headed back home.
He does got the look of a German Shepherd and stuff like that, and a lot of people were posting he probably wanted to join the squad or something like that.
Were you trying out for the canine unit? He said yes. So it was only fair we took him back to the scene of the crime, where he could pay another visit to his friends.
You're the dog, the famous dog, huh? They showed up to OPD. They applied for the canine position.
They say a dog is a man's best friend. For Chico, Edward is his. A dog who made the distance, who will always find his way back home.
Oh, that dog cracks me up, man. Oh,
I love that dog.
I can't believe that he went to the police station and then
He has
went back
goals in
home.
life.
Where else did he go?
And never been there before. He just
Right.
went and went home. He was like, hey.
So I want to know, did he actually travel around, or did he just go straight to the police station, to report a crime, and then he was like, all right, I gotta go, I'm going back home.
He's the new McRuff.
That's so funny.
Cute.
All right, see, I feel more relaxed already.
Yeah, so now we all be happier people today. Now get ready for Teresa's 4-hour PowerPoint
I
presentation.
do not have 4 hours. You're crazy.
Teresa wants to
I've been
travel out tonight.
so deep in this missing mom, and I don't know if you guys are following this. Her name is Cassie Carli. She went missing on March 27th, so just this past weekend. As she in where was it? Navarre Beach in Florida. So I don't know. I mean, I'm all over it. And then we obviously have some updates on Naomi and a few other cases, but I was like, who are these other chicks on panel? Naomi and Cassie. So yeah, Cassie's the missing mom out of Navarre Beach, and then Naomi was the case that we covered last week that has some unfortunate updates this week. So we'll talk about that. But
We're not actually here to just watch dog videos.
even though that's not a bad idea, it is pretty relaxing. So, but first and foremost, before we get into Cassie, I want you guys to see Christine's amazing work. So can you turn your camera off real quick? Check this out, you guys.
She did so good.
Look at how freaking cool this is.
I love it.
Hi, Rosalind. Hi, Truth and Transparency.
Hello.
But look at how cool, the avatars are.
Mm-hmm. And our name.
And the color. I mean, it's just perfection. I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Christine for her amazingness.
Oh,
Awesome.
thanks.
Work.
I'm like, I don't even know if I want to turn the camera on. This is so much cooler.
It is
Hi,
cool.
Steph.
What
This
up,
is so much
Stephanie?
cooler.
I just realized I have the world's squeakiest chair right now. Sorry if you guys all hear it in the background. I'll work that out next week.
That's hilarious.
Presets.
It's just a squeaky chair. I'm like, you guys would probably actually rather look at the avatars. I don't know. Michelle is amazingly beautiful though. So, so anyway, okay. So we'll talk about Cassie Carli, and like I said, I don't know how many of you guys are actually following this case, but I don't even know what I've sent you anymore, Christine. I've sent
Yeah,
Christine
sorry,
so
I'm
much
getting them
stuff
back up
about this
again.
case that she's like, literally, I'm not a PowerPoint. It's like, stop sending me all of your stuff.
Well,
And I'm like,
because
wait a minute, you're
we
not?
only have so long.
You're not? So I'll give a little history, and then we can show a couple of things. Some of the clips are outdated now because obviously it's such a fluid, investigation that things are happening very rapidly. But I don't know what you
I don't
hopped
know
on.
if you want the video first or let me grab
I
it
think
again.
we'll probably go with the let's go with the press conference first.
Okay, 1 second. Keep talking.
What did I say?
I was here like an hour early, everybody, and I was ready to go. And then I got kicked out of the stream twice.
Because nobody else was ready to go. So it's like, let's get her out of here. We're not ready to start this yet. Hi, Queen.
You got work done today.
Okay, so
Okay.
some backstory.
Is that the press conference?
No.
Okay.
Hi, Nikki. No, that's another. See, this is going to be the issue. Is that I sent her so much stuff. She's just like, okay, I'm going to throw up everything, and then you pick which one you want to add.
I'll find it.
Some people were here 24 hours early, Christine. It's true. I hit that thumb. Yeah, hit that thumbs up.
Please.
Hit that thumbs up. Okay, so Cassie Carli is 37 years old. She is a mom to a 4-year-old. And I don't know about how I feel about saying her name. Her name is all over social media because she was actually reported missing at first as well. So she has a 4-year-old daughter that she shares custody with the daughter's dad. On Sunday, the dad said, hey, let's do this, exchange that we do every 2 weeks. We're going to do it closer to your house versus mine. He's actually from, lives in like Panama City, Florida, while she lives in Navarre, Florida. So they typically had met at a Walmart in Destin, Florida, which is about halfway. They had met there every other weekend to do the exchange. But this week he had said that, okay, well, I'm actually closer to you. So let's meet, closer to your house, like basically kind of doing her a favor. I'm already up here. Let's just meet here. So they're supposed to meet at 7:00 it's called Juana's Pagodas. It's actually like a bar and grill. Been there for like 30 some years. So everybody's very familiar with it. It's right down to the beach. It's got a boat ramp, pretty popular place, especially like on the actual weekends, Friday, Saturday, they have like live music and all that fun stuff. So it's kind of a pop-in place, but remember, this is Sunday night. So they are supposed to meet there and exchange their daughter at 7:00. So she has been living with her father in Navarre Beach, which is where she went to high school. I mean, she was basically grew up there. She stayed in that area. So she was living with her father when she got back on her feet. She was working at like a paddleboard shop not too far away, had just got a new job as a server that she was supposed to be starting. And so she goes to meet with him. She tells her dad, hey, I'm just going to pick up my daughter, and I'll be right back. It's like a mile from the house, and everybody kind of knows where it is, so no big deal. So she goes, and dad doesn't hear from her for a while. So she ends up messaging her dad, and this is going to come into play later. So she ends up messaging her dad that she's having phone troubles and car troubles, and that no. Terror. That she's having phone troubles and car troubles, and that she's going to end up going with the daughter's dad, whose name is Marcus, so that he can actually help her fix whatever's wrong with the phone or the car or whatever. Dad ends up falling asleep and doesn't actually realize that nobody's, that they're not there yet. So he, at like 10:45 on Sunday night, he's like trying to talk to her. And this is when she's like, no, I'm just going to go stay at Marcus's and, we'll be home later. So the next day she doesn't come back home, which is now Monday, the 28th. And by that evening, he's like messaging her like, hey, where are you guys? What do you, what's going on? And we have those messages, so we'll show those in a minute too. But there's no response. So he actually calls and reports her missing on Monday, the 28th.
Oh, boy.
So Now, there's obviously major backstory to her situation with Marcus, so we'll touch on that for a minute too. But she had been married, but she, according to her siblings, she'd always wanted to be a mom. So she had been married, but there was some issues with conceiving a baby, and they ended up splitting up. And she met Marcus 4 years ago to 2017, and within a few months ended up pregnant. They had some ups and downs during this relationship, and she ended up needing some help. So she moved back in with her dad to get back on her feet. So she was down in Panama City with him and Destin, I believe. Don't quote me on that one. And so she moves back up to Navarre to stay with her dad and gets these jobs, and she's like getting back on her feet and everything. So can you pull up the GoFundMe by chance? Because the GoFundMe actually kind of comes into play before the...
Yeah.
Okay.
One sec.
So so I want to kind of show you guys the GoFundMe because it's more in her words than it is like in us just like kind of repeating what we've heard or what we've seen. This is actually from her and her sister that was helping her, so you can kind of get an idea of their relationship. And then we'll go through the press conference so we can get that, and then we can talk about where the family's at as of today. So
has an extensive
on
criminal history.
Sunday,
In the late 90s.
On Sunday, or on Monday, I should say, when the dad reported his daughter and then her daughter, his granddaughter, missing, it was both because she was supposed to be picking up the daughter for the exchange. So he actually reported both missing. So as of now, the daughter has actually been located, and she was with the father when he was located. So she is safe. She's not missing. Let's just say it that way. And then, so let's talk about a little bit about this relationship. That I don't think I can scroll it though, Christine. So her sister starts this this GoFundMe for her sister to get some legal help. And basically in here, she's talking about the tumultuous relationship that she's had with her daughter's father and how hard it's been. And that's, and let's see. Can you make that any bigger, or can you actually read it? Because I can't see it. There we go. So it says, hello, dear friends and family. I'm writing to you today with a heavy heart. I never imagined that I would be in a position in my life where it would be necessary to write this letter to you. Nonetheless, here I am. So where do I begin? Let me begin at the beginning. In July of 2017, on the heels of one of the most traumatic events of my life, I met the man who became the father of my precious daughter. Like so many relationships I know, I was swept up in a hidden deceit known as charm. This man was a master at the game of manipulation, and though I could see all the warning signs of an abuser, I believed his excuses and became stuck in his web of narcissistic lies. Just months into the relationship, I discovered that I was pregnant. And let me be clear, I have never regretted my decision to become a mother. And this is her daughter. Her daughter is truly the light and love of my life. During my pregnancy, this man's abusive control and manipulation escalated, but having battled infertility in my first marriage, I desperately wanted a family. So I justified his erratic behavior as long as I could. By the grace of God and good friends, I chose to end the relationship with him. I knew that raising my daughter alone would be better than exposing her to toxic home life relationship. When I ended the relationship with him and he no longer had any control of my mind, his web of lies and deceit spread like wildfire. He filed dozens of false police reports. He called CPS many times. I nearly came to know so many times. I nearly came to know most of the staff by name. The passive-aggressive abuse was so bad, I had to trespass him from my apartment on more than one occasion. In 2019, I filed for sole custody of my daughter. The court allowed him to have bi-monthly visitation and ordered him to pay child support. To date, he owes me over $10,000 in child support. A few weeks ago, due to child support delinquency, the state was set to suspend his driver's license. Just days after that notice, he called CPS to report yet another false claim. He was allowed to pick up my daughter that day for his regularly scheduled weekend visit. For over 2 weeks, I had no contact with my daughter or knowledge of her whereabouts. I called everyone I knew. I sought help from the local police and every government agency I knew. No one could or would help me. My only hope was a powerful attorney who would not fall for his manipulation or believe his lies. But great attorneys are expensive. My family has levered. Is that what it says? Everything. It's kind of blurry for me. Sorry. Everything we have leveraged probably everything we have to try to raise the 10K needed to fight this man in court. Currently, I am over 5,000 short. I need your help. My daughter needs your help. Foremost, please pray and consider donating to this GoFundMe. Every single dollar raised will be used to protect my daughter. Thank you for your prayers and support. I love and value each of you, Cassie.
What do we say about that? She loves her daughter for sure. Wow.
So, yeah, as soon as you read that, you're just kind of like, wait a minute, like this is not sound very good. But so her best friend, so that if you're in any of the Facebook groups, it gets a little confusing because there's actually a lot of Sams that are involved in this case. Her best friend's name is Sam. His best friend's name is also Sam. Hers is a female Sam. His is a male Sam.
Okay.
So there's two different Sams involved. So her best friend of like 25 years, and I believe is actually a retired law enforcement agent, but don't quote me on that one either. But she sets up all these searches. So immediately, as soon as she hears that she's missing, she's like on it. She's like setting up everything. So she has, if you're in that area and you want to go and help, she has every day something's going on, they're searching somewhere, doing something, and they're looking for tons of volunteers. And she's set up at that Juana's Pagoda's, bar and grill. That's the last place that she was seen. So Sam is doing tons and tons of stuff to actually, help promote the searches and helping law enforcement on anything, that they need. So Tuesday comes and they find her car in the parking lot at Juana's. They have not discussed whether that car was actually broken down or not broken down.
And the baby's still with Marcus?
That's unclear as of today. The baby was with Marcus, but there's been, I don't really know, and I don't want to say because I don't know. I'm not 100%. I know the baby is not with her family. That's one thing we do know because they said today that they do not have her. When we watch the press conference, you'll kind of understand what I mean because it kind of gets a little confusing because where they found Marcus and say they're her daughter, CPS did come. So some are saying that CPS took the daughter, and some are saying that that CPS never actually took the daughter, that she was just examined and looked over and whatnot. So, all right. So then you have the press conference. ATS News.
So you literally sent me so much. Which one is it? I'm just gonna look it up.
Man.
Yeah, there's
You could
so
probably
many,
just
and they're all
find it.
buried in a bunch of angry inch memes, so I can't find it.
Okay. Let me see.
Is it the urgent search?
You know how old Marcus is?
He's like 42 or no?
He's somewhere right around there.
Okay, so investigators release new details?
Yeah, they've only had one press conference so far, so.
Oh, I found it. One sec.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're going to talk about a missing persons case today. A Navarre woman, Cassie Carli, 37.
Can you make that full screen?
Was last seen Sunday the 27th behind Juana's Pagoda in the parking lot. She was there to meet Marcus Spanabello, who I think also has his photograph as well. They have a child in common, a 3-year-old girl. They were met there to do a child exchange.
Everywhere I've seen it, she's 4 years old, so I don't know why he says 3, but.
He was seen. The next day, Monday the 28th, we received about midday, we received a call from Cassie's father reporting her missing. The next day, Tuesday the 29th, we find Cassie's car behind Juana's Pagoda. And what we found concerning was inside that car was Cassie's purse. And as you know, most women don't leave their purse behind when they go somewhere. So that caused us a little concern. Then Wednesday the 30th, we located Marcus in Birmingham, Alabama. 3 detectives from San Rosa County.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Interviewed him. They made contact with him and also with Sailor, the daughter. And they called out Alabama Child Services, who checked over the girl.
Is it frozen?
And interviewed him. Right now, in different, as you could say, phases of this investigation, but we would like to thank Okaloosa, Walton, and BSO for their assistance, as well as FDLE and the FBI. Currently, like I said, it's an ongoing investigation. So I don't know how many questions I can answer, but feel free to ask me what you want to. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any specific spots that you are searching right now, or any specific efforts that you can share with us?
Not at this time. I can say the search is ongoing, but I can't tell you any certain locations.
Can you confirm whether the search is beyond Santa Rosa County?
Yes. Yes.
Can you give us any information about why some of the people involved in this search went to Freeport yesterday?
I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't send them there.
No, it was the community lit search.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, ma'am.
We talked to friends and family who all point their fingers toward Marcus when it comes to information that can lead to finding Cassie, and they believe he may know something about her disappearance. Do you feel like that's a fair statement?
Well, I can say it's an ongoing investigation, and he was the last one to see her that we're aware of. So obviously, we are intent on speaking with him again. Yes.
Have any restrictions been put on him about leaving where he's at or the country?
Not by us. Yes.
Can you give us any sort of insight into what his story of events were when you interviewed him?
No, I can't.
Is there anything beyond just the purse being with the vehicle that leads you to believe that she didn't just walk off on her own? That you can tell us.
Yeah, not that I can speak to right now. But like I said, obviously, I've been married 32 years, and I'll tell you, my wife goes nowhere without her purse. So to think that she just left it there and just walked off is, that's what concerns us.
Did you interview the child, or was there anything from the story about the drop-off from the child?
No, we did not interview the child. Now, like I said, Alabama Protective Services responded out, and I can't really comment on what they said. Yes.
What was his connection to Birmingham? Was he like in the process of leaving, or does he live there, or what?
No, I think he had a job site up there that he worked at.
When you say her purse, is that like all of her, like she left her ID in the car, or just a purse?
There were things in the purse we won't comment on, but there's things in the purse that, like I said before, we don't think she would just up and leave.
She was last seen almost 4 days now. Can you speak to whether that's concerning to keep going yet another day with no sign of her?
Oh yeah, it's very concerning. I mean, and we take everything seriously. Missing person cases, a lot of them, we find the person, everything's fine. But usually you don't go 4 days without hearing from them or them using a credit card or a cell phone or something. And right as of now, we have none of that. So yeah, we're concerned.
So you can confirm that she's had no cell phone or credit card activity since Sunday?
That we're aware of. Yeah. And that's why we have, we didn't just assign a detective. Our entire major crimes unit is working this. So you've got 10 detectives that's pretty much all they're doing right now is trying to locate Cassie.
At any point, do you plan to identify a person of interest in her disappearance if this continues?
Well, yeah, definitely. If we develop a lead or we develop information that points to a person solid, yeah, we'll have another press conference without a doubt. Yes.
How many witnesses have you guys interviewed approximately?
Ballpark.
There's really not a whole lot of witnesses.
So I would say 5 or 6 right now, because when you start talking about witnesses, they meet by themselves together in this parking lot to do a child exchange.
Is it typical to get major crimes in on the first day of a missing person case?
It is when certain things pop up, like you find her purse in the car. I mean, that worries us. So yeah.
Have y'all had any luck with surveillance video or anything in that area? I know it's out on the beach.
Yeah, we have. We see a bunch of video. The problem we have with some of it is, it's getting dark and that kind of thing. So we're still examining video. So yes.
You said that you're concerned and worried. Can you speak to, are you specifically concerned that it's a possible kidnapping or any other crime?
The Curious Cat, her cell phone has not been found.
Well, when we look at this, we consider her missing, endangered. In other words, we don't know what happened to her. We don't have any evidence specifically pointing to homicide or abduction or any of those. We just know that the way she has gone missing concerns us greatly.
And you said that, about to another question, that the search has gone outside of Santa Rosa County. Can you say that it has gone outside of the state? Have you contacted other agencies?
Yes.
Do you believe Cassie's alive?
I'm not really going to comment on what I believe. It doesn't really matter what I believe. I mean, evidence is what we go on. And right now, we don't have enough evidence to determine if she's alive or if she's deceased. We don't have that kind of evidence right now.
Did you
Bye, Jennifer.
FBI to get involved, or did they volunteer? How did that
They
process
volunteered.
go? And where do you go from here?
They'll be examining evidence for us, certain types of evidence that we don't have the capability of looking into. They'll take that. FDLE, same way. They have certain software programs and things we don't have that they do, and hopefully they can help us. Yes, ma'am.
Were you ever able to determine if there was any problems with Cassie's car that you guys have?
We're not going to comment on that, but yeah, we do have the car in custody. So yes. Anything else? Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, and before we go, Crime Stoppers. Thank you, Rich. 850-437-STOP. If anybody out there has any information about Cassie and her whereabouts, you may not think it's a big deal to you, but if you give us some information to these detectives, it may be the thing that breaks the case. So if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. You're totally anonymous and you can get a reward. So thank you very much.
So they have her car that they find at Juana's on Tuesday with her purse and belongings in the purse. They do not have her. They do not have her cell phone, but then they find her daughter and her ex in Birmingham, Alabama, which is like 4 hours away from Navarre.
So does the guy have a girlfriend?
I've heard that he does. I have not found any proof of that, but I have heard that he does have a girlfriend. So he actually drives like a big dually, like a huge black truck with a big black or dark blue, I think it's navy blue, huge trailer that is behind it. So it would be fairly easy to spot, but nobody's looking for that right now. So that's not, they've already found him. They know where he is. That's not a big deal. And they know where her car is. Literally, it's, if you saw that car
Aren't
during...
these cops in Florida? I mean, don't just give him all this credit.
I don't know. I mean, Polk County Sheriff is like one of my favorite sheriffs, Sheriff Grundy. Like, I think that guy's amazing. So...
Did they find
I don't get why he's got custody now of the daughter if he's the last one to see her and he's only seen the kid for 2 out of 14 days. Child should be Cassie's father's care as his visit was up. I agree. And this is one of the things I was trying to find today before we came live was, is there any proof of if he still has custody? Yesterday, they were saying that his friend Sam is where the daughter was staying, that they were with the friend Sam, not her friend, his friend. But then today I was seeing things that CPS actually came in it and has her, but nobody could actually confirm that. And the interview that the family did today, they don't confirm that either.
Didn't Kelsey, do you guys hear the echo or do I just hear the echo?
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. Didn't Kelsey Barrett, Patrick, his mom, have her daughter for like a long time until after the trial, and then her parents got custody? This whole thing just reminds me of the Kelsey Barrett situation.
Oh yeah, it's got definite Kelsey Barrett
Yeah.
vibes. So
But him and his mom had the girl.
Odd by itself.
Whose mom? You said his mom has the girl?
No, I said her purse was there, but her cell phone isn't.
Right.
Like.
So yeah, so he says, so she's texting the dad. I don't know if you want to, you can bring up the text if you want to. She's texting the dad basically like, I've got car trouble, my phone is broken, everything's a mess. Where they meet at Juana's does have cameras, and as he talks about in that press conference, he's saying like they're looking at the cameras, but by that time of the night it was dark, so that it's taking a little bit more to go through. Walmart's Truth and Transparency, they were not meeting at a Walmart right then. They typically met at Walmart during their exchanges in Destin, but this is at the Juana's Bar and Grill, which is actually in Navarre Beach. So, but they have like all kinds of cams that they have up, like where they watch like the beach, you can see the parking lot. There's a lot of cameras, so maybe they'll be able to find something. Obviously, they're not going to release everything to us, so
They're not saying much at all, right?
Not really.
No.
I mean, but it's been 5 days and nobody's heard from her. So these are the messages, and this is what I wanted to get your guys' take on. What do you guys think of this? So he's messaging Cassie like, hey, like, where are you? Whatever. She says, sorry, like my car was acting up and I broke my phone. Marcus is working on it. I'm going to stay at his place tonight, and he's paying me money to do some stuff around his house. So dad asks, are you in PC, Panama City? And she says, no. So then my question is, when she says she's going to stay with Marcus, one, is this even her? Let's be real. Two, is she staying with Marcus in Panama City, or is she staying at wherever Marcus was staying at when he was at Navarre Beach? Because he was actually visiting there already. He had photos posted of him and their daughter on the beach on Saturday. So he was already in the area. So where's she supposedly staying with him?
Right. Is this something they've done before? Like, do they link up every now and again? Is it that type of relationship?
Okay, so not that I'm aware of. And when we listen to what her family says today on he's on WFLA, JB does an interview with them. But so, okay, so she's like, I'm sorry, my phone's acting up, blah, blah. He's like, but then he's like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that my girls are okay. And I don't want to like put too much on Pops here, but if the relationship was extremely tumultuous, I'm really surprised that dad isn't saying something else right here. Like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You're going to go stay with Marcus.
Right.
Maybe dad is just kind of, she's 37. She's going to do whatever the hell she wants, and I'm not going to say anything. Her car ended up her car was at Juana's. Debbie says, remember his mom put something out on Facebook about seeing him soon in another country. So that was also weird, Debbie. Yes, his mom was posting on Facebook about it not coming soon enough. So there's been some controversy, and one of the reasons that the reporters actually asked the sheriff there about if he's allowed to leave the country or if he was told to stay in one location is because he has dual citizenship from Brazil.
Oh.
If you know anything about Brazil, they will not extradite. They will not send any child back, whether it's custody or not. I don't remember that guy's name, but do you remember the guy in it was like New York, and his wife took off with their kid down to Brazil, and then she ended up dying, and then her parents had the kid. I don't remember his name.
They are not.
And it took him like 10 years to get his kid back.
That's not happening.
Okay, so JB's saying that she is in child services in Alabama. I saw that, and then other people were saying that's not true. But I would think that the family would know. The family did put in a request to have custody of her, and it was denied, I believe, yesterday or the day before. So now the sister, who's actually moved to North Carolina, who's now back in Navarre to help with this search, messages Marcus. And she's like, hey, like, is Sailor with you? Like, what's going on? Like, this is not like my sister. She's been doing really good. She's about to start her new job. Like, make sure that you're cooperating. Like, and then he says, Sailor is with me. because he has already responded to the dad stating that he was taking Cassie to her friend Sam's house in Destin because she was getting all crazy in the car on the way home, which then makes you think that the home that she's quote unquote supposedly staying at is the Panama City one if he has to drive through Destin. So, and then when dad says Sam doesn't live in Destin anymore, then he has to change his story like, oh, well, I just dropped her off, but I wasn't going to leave Sailor with her because she's, you know, I'm not going to have Sailor around that. Like she's the crazy one.
Right.
So it just infuriates me. But so now sister's messaging him and he's like, no, I told her I wasn't going to let Sailor, you know, go like that, to give me an address and I'd take them there. The cops already have called me. They might call me again. Basically just putting it all off. So now at this point, he knows that nobody can find the mother of his daughter, but yet he's still in Birmingham, Alabama. Why isn't he coming back?
Right.
This is him. And I hate to be the one that like jumps to conclusions.
No,
I really do. I hate to be that person that jumps to conclusions that it's always going to be this, you know, it's always the spouse or it's always, you know, whatever. But man, I'm getting really bad vibes here.
Bad vibes. This is the last known person she was with, you know. It's not good. No.
Right. And the only reason I put, like, you sent these pictures for Christine to be able to put up is because the family has posted these all over. These are like on her missing persons flyer. So I'm like, that's why the baby's not blocked out, is because these are the ones that the families actually shared themselves. So I just want to make that clear.
Just from her description on the GoFundMe and those text messages, I mean, that's enough for me. That's enough for me.
Don't show that Facebook one, because that one, I don't want to dox that dude. But that's his friend Sam.
That's the friend Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so cute. I love her.
And Cassie's like, she's flipping beautiful.
Yeah. They look just alike too. That truck would do it.
With a puppy.
It's
so
that's
that navy blue trailer. So he apparently has been renting out his house in Panama City as like an Airbnb during spring break. And then he has converted this trailer into like livable. And so he is staying here, or he stays with a friend up in Navarre Beach. And that's not very clear yet. Truth and transparency. When she says my sister's been doing really good, I kind of thought about that too, but she does kind of go over it. Like her sister's been through a lot of trauma, a lot of traumatic events, and that she's like on her feet. They don't talk about any like history of anything off. So I want to stick with that until they confirm anything different, because it just seems that she talks about a traumatic event in her life when she goes over the GoFundMe, and then the friends are putting out like, you know, she's endured a ton of things in her life, and it always comes out with a smile on her face and, you know, brighter on the other side, and that she's just, you know, she's like the friend that's worth fighting for. Like I know it's a very suspicious situation.
The whole situation with her baby.
I know. We can do if you can play the WFLA one from today, we can drop their link too, so that way we're not like taking their stuff. But I want you guys to see the family. It's the sister, the brother, her two best friends, the one that went to high school with her, and then the one that's known her for 25 years, that she was supposedly getting dropped off at that house. But listening to what they say, it's just like they know that this is not going to go well. They know this isn't going to end well, and they just want to find her and then get the daughter back from him.
I really hope she's with.
Has an extensive criminal history in the late.
At least. That's not the right one. Sorry.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah. Ooh, did you just literally turn into a robot?
Me?
I'm a robot? Are you a robot?
I might be. I keep major echo. I don't know what's that.
I can't tell if she's. You hear that? Now you're blank.
Now I'm blank?
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Here, let me take her off and then I'll put her back. Nope.
Where'd she go? You should. Trying to play the other video?
Yeah, that's not the right one though. Yeah, robot. Pink Dahlia. Robot. Robot. I know she comes. It's like a slow bot. It's out. Hello and welcome. It's still there. I mean, it really goes with the whole theme of the avatar and stuff. But I just don't know how long everybody's going.
It's like super screen stuff.
It's because she got all that stuff done today. It's like, nope.
That computer's like, okay, we're done. We're done for the day.
Pink Dahlia. Ruckus is outside. We have Faith and Rose in here. And 2 cats.
Rose.
We'll get one of them.
Luke, I am your father.
I just want to make sure my girls are okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why truth is transparent. Though I'm like, I don't want to be like hard on the dad because obviously he's going to have to deal with a lot of his own stuff. But there's something weird about that to me, especially after you guys listen to this. When you listen to this, and then the dad.
They have been searching far and wide, looking everywhere that they can for Cassie, but they're taking some time out of their day to join us here on WFLA Now. Guys, I'll let you introduce yourself to our audience, but thanks for taking the time. And again, we're asking folks to share, to help, because she's still out there and folks are still, of course, doing everything they can to find her. Can you speak for a moment as to who Cassie is to you after, of course, you all introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Cassie's sister, Rayanne. This is her brother.
My brother, Anthony.
I'm Kirsty Sullivan. I went to high school with Cassie and have been good friends for decades.
And Cassie's best friend of 25 years.
And can you put into words, each one of you, can you
That
put
was
into
Sam
words
that just said that. The one in the
what Cassie means to you and the person that she is?
Cassie is just full of life. She is so happy. Anyone that's been around her can just feel her energy is always just full of love and light. And she has touched so many people, not just in our family. I mean, she was the glue in our family that held us together, but in the community. She loved her city of Navarre. She loved the beach. Oh, she loved the outdoors. Taking her daughter to the beach was the highlight of her day. She would go daily if she could. She just so full and excited and hopeful for the future. A very strong person. So strong.
Cassie and I went to high school together, and I've seen so many people from high school come out in the last 5 days. It's fueling our fire. Like, we're not stopping until we have Cassie and Sailor home. And I have yet to meet a single person with a bad thing to say about her.
Yes.
I can't think of anybody that doesn't like Cassie or wouldn't want to hang out with Cassie, because she is always cutting up and laughing. Like, when I think of Cassie, the first word that comes to my mind is like joy.
And you can tell with the community rallying behind you and your family and Cassie's family and friends, just the rallying that has gone on. It speaks to how much she is loved in this community. I've been on the phone really around the clock for the last 24 hours, texting, calling, and the amount of love that has been coming through. It's just, we can hear it in your voice. Can you tell us what it was like when you first found out that Cassie could not be located? Now, again, for the audience just joining us, she on Sunday night around 7 o'clock, she goes across the causeway in Navarre Beach to pick up her daughter. This was relatively normal, right, you guys? I mean, relatively normal to pick up her daughter on a Sunday night because her daughter was in her father's custody on the weekends. Do I have this correct? And then something went wrong. Can you kind of walk us through exactly what transpired?
It was every other weekend, and it was actually supposed to happen in
Barb, Sam, man, Sam has been live just crying. The woman's not even sleeping.
Sometimes it's rare, maybe
Sam sounds extremely genuine to me. She hardly talks in this one, I don't think, but
because we understand that there's a family that would babysit often for Marcus when he had his daughter 2 days out of 14.
And for those of you, Marcus who was named yesterday in the press conference by the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office. Marcus is the 4-year-old daughter of Cassie's father, who is in Birmingham, Alabama. But we'll get into that here in just a few moments. There's a lot to this story. And so what was it like when did you find out, all of you, when did you find out that Cassie had disappeared, and what was that like, and where did your mind go when you originally heard the news that she was missing?
Our father, since she resides with him, he was the first immediate red flag when he 3 hours later and she still was not home, and he contacted me the next morning, still just so worrisome. And of course, I reached out to her friends. She is always in contact with her family and friends. Even during the exchange, she would have texted. So we immediately, our red flag was Marcus, because she has always had some concern for her safety in general. But we know Cassie would have reached out to us if something was not looking right or suspicious.
Yeah, it's not like her at all. It's not like her.
So
we know beyond a shadow of a doubt she would not have left anywhere with Marcus, being in Navarre, her hometown where she grew up, and she could have called hundreds of people within a mile's radius to come and get her. Yes.
And
her daughter
has been concerning, is because now we heard yesterday out of the mouth of the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office about her purse being located. But what do we know about her phone? Because normally somebody goes missing, the first thing you do is you call them, you text them. Do you have any idea where
we're not
her phone
sure
is?
What has happened with her phone? We know that it wasn't in the purse. We know that, we've all been calling and texting it since we realized what was started happening Monday evening. And it's gone straight to voicemail. Her text messages went from blue to green, which if you know Apple phones, you know that means something changed that shouldn't have changed. We're really confident in the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Department. We feel like they're working really hard, and they're protecting whatever information that they may have, because it's in the best interest of finding Cassie right away and prosecuting whoever's responsible for this disappearance.
I have a lot of questions to ask in the next few minutes, because I know you guys have to go resume search efforts. You have places to be, and you're taking time out of your day to join us. And again, the reason that the family is here, folks, and friends of Cassie is here, is for a very specific reason: to get the share count up on social media and to increase exposure. Again, looking for the missing mother out of Navarre Beach, 37-year-old Cassie Carly. I want to hone in on the phone for just another second, because Cassie's father received text messages from Cassie's phone. I think it was at some point that night, and I think that was a bit alarming to the entire family. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've told me that was alarming to the entire family, correct?
Yes. That the text messages my father received from my sister's phone were nothing of typical speak my sister would have said, especially the claims of car and phone troubles at the same time. She would have walked to the nearest gas station if she had to before getting Marcus for any type of help in a situation like that.
Something else I've looked at with these text messages recently is, if you look at the way the punctuation is and the verbiage, he slips up, I believe, in some of these text messages and leaves out words like he typically does in his own text messages. It sounds like him.
And I want to just backtrack for our audience, because I know you guys have been talking about this so much, but what you are saying is that you do not believe that the text messages about the car being broken down, those text messages that went from Cassie's phone to the phone of her father, were not sent by Cassie, and
we do not believe that those messages were sent by Cassie.
And who do you believe sent them?
Marcus.
She's
the last person to see her alive.
She's been telling me for the last 2 years that this dude has been threatening her. He's pulled a gun out. She's worried. She's never wanted me to come around. And she's always said, if something happens to me, it's him. And
Cassie wouldn't leave her daughter. The minute I knew that she didn't have her purse, her phone, her car, or her child, we knew. We know. We're just praying that he makes a good decision and we can find her.
I'm going to throw up some pictures here because our commenters are asking for more pictures of Cassie so that we can spread the word and show this image and get this image out to as many places as possible. You'll also see some videos sent to us by the folks that are joining us via Zoom of the search efforts that are currently underway. Let me ask you this. A lot of questions, of course, being asked about Sailor, the 4-year-old daughter of Cassie and Marcus. And now the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office says that Sailor...
See the whole 20 minutes.
You still sound like a terrible robot. No, I think that's good. That kind of covers the majority of it.
Oh wow.
You may have to leave. You may have to leave and come back though. Oh, now she's frozen. Michelle, you're. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm like, these guys are just freezing and robotic. Jeanette, I saw you up here, and unfortunately, I agree. And I think that from the sounds of it, her family and friends are thinking the same thing. That they don't seem to be looking for her alive. It almost seems like they're in recovery mode.
They know already. They know between the baby, the phone, and those text messages. That explained it right there. They said that is not her tone. That is not something that she would text. That she would, the last thing she would do is go with Marcus. Oh boy. Was it confirmed yet where the baby is? Do you know?
JB on Twitter has said that Alabama CPS has her, and he's the one who spoke with the family today. So I mean, I would go with that. On the pages that like the family and friends are on, it's not, they haven't confirmed it, and obviously law enforcement hasn't confirmed that, but that's what he's stating. So, and I have not, he's not really known to put out something that's not really, that he doesn't have 100% proof of. So
the brother is tore up because the brother knows. She's had conversations with her brother about this. He knows. It's pouring out of him. Her friend, her eyes, you could tell her friend has not slept. Her friend has just done nothing but cry. Is that the friend that's coordinating all the searches and things?
Yes, that's her friend Sam. That's in the back. That was in the back. That looks really puffy.
Yeah.
And she's done some Facebook lives and stuff that they're a little outdated now. So that's why I decided not to play them. But I mean, she's devastated. She's just like, no, this is like, none of this makes any sense. And
Tadessa's frozen, I think. Where am I?
Am I frozen? Now you're muted though.
Okay, here we go.
We'll figure it out. Amelia.
Here she goes.
Yeah, they knew their friend, and I think they know.
Yeah. They gave us the most insight so far. I think they've been, well.
I don't have a good feeling that it's going to end well. Obviously, I hope it does, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good scenario that this guy just leaves. And then he's trying to say, okay, so I didn't drop her off at Sam's. I just left her in some random place in the middle of Destin. And people who are from Destin are commenting that there is no middle of nowhere. There is no random place. Like you would had to have dropped her off at a specific location.
Destin's another, like, the teenagers go there for spring break and things. So, I mean, there's a lot going on in Destin. Yeah. And I truly believe in hope, but this isn't it.
I know. So basically they're just saying like, we just want him to come forward and do the right thing because like it's not fair to put the family through this. And the family, Cassie's family, is actually in contact with Gabby Petito's family.
Oh.
So they're talking about like how much support it is, like talking to somebody who's been through this and unfortunately.
Wow. Oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, good. Yeah, I agree, Amelia. That just. Wow.
They do not have her phone, Shmita. They have her purse and they have her car, but they do not have her phone. and I have no idea what it means. Like my phone's going in and out, like what she means about that. But I mean, weird that Marcus has not been arrested unless he was arrested within the last, hour and I missed it. He has not been arrested. He wasn't even named a person of interest or a suspect. Most likely not a person of interest at this time, typically because they have already spoken to him. So if something else comes of it, then the person of interest is somebody who like law enforcement is looking for that has knowledge of a crime or they believe has knowledge of a crime. It's not person of interest is not necessarily a suspect. They're two different things. So person of interest, he's given his information on the crime. So he wouldn't technically be that. So I think until they can escalate it to suspect, or if he goes on the run, then he could still be considered a person of interest because they may have more questions for him. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. There has to be footage. There has to be.
Well, somebody was asking, like, they pinged her phone. I'm sure they have done something, but they have not released any of that to us.
Okay, how do I
Nice to
sound
see
now?
you too, Amelia.
Right. To maybe see her searches and things. I agree, Shmita. I agree. Yeah. She doesn't have her baby. She doesn't have her purse. No phone, conveniently. It's like the new thing now. They take the phone. The phone's acting crazy right beforehand. It's like he had excuses already lined up, and they're horrible. But
what are the chances that her car's not working and her phone's not working?
Exactly.
Well, and then they're saying no activity whatsoever, like on any of her accounts, which makes sense if she left everything in her purse. But why is she going to go spend the night in Panama City or wherever she's going and then leave her purse in the car?
With the guy.
She's a mile from her house. Just call dad and come and get her. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And went with the person that everyone says she would not at all. The man who put a gun to her head. She just so happens to be meeting up with him for the child, like for the exchange. This could be completely planned out. All of a sudden, he wanted to work with her. He was meeting her like, here, I'll go a little bit further for you. That seems out, according to her friends. That's not.
Well, he supposedly has somebody that's in that area, whether it's his girlfriend or friends that he stays with. But like I said, on Saturday, he was posting photos of him and Sailor at Navarre Beach. So he was already in the area, but it still doesn't make sense. Why not just, okay, her car's broken. I can just drop her off at home.
Yeah. She's only a mile away from home.
That's what I'm saying.
She's got a brother, father, sister. She has close friends. She doesn't seem like she's in a situation where she would need Marcus or even a lift at that point. She could call her.
Wow. It's not like she was in Panama City or Destin.
Yep.
And he's the only person in the area. Hi, Car. Yeah, I know. I can't take another missing case. I know, but like this kind of, it just keeps happening.
Yep. I don't know, T. This isn't. I hope this family gets Sailor. I do.
So like she wouldn't leave her kid, car, purse, phone, all the above. It sounds like from the people that know her and just common sense. I agree, Pink Dahlia. I agree. So I think that kind of takes us that takes us from what's happened to where we're at as of when we started the live, unless something else comes up while we're live. That's kind of where that story's at, and pray for her family. It seems that they're prepared, even though they probably still are holding on to some hope.
Has her father said anything yet?
Oh, her father, he says that this guy is a narcissist. So I that was actually one of the earlier clips from the search.
I think Teresa's frozen again.
Am I?
A little bit.
Frozen again?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. It was actually one of the clips that I decided not to put out because it does have some older information, and it seems that by putting those out, it messes up the current information going out. So I was trying to keep that, from spinning stuff that's already been debunked or, because obviously at first, like Sailor was missing. So a lot of the lives and stuff are like finding both. And then everybody just comments like Sailor's been found. And it's like, yes, this is just older, but he does come out. Oh yeah. The good old N-word, man. Yeah. So he talks about what a narcissist this guy is, and he's never seen anything like it. And that during the custody hearings and this is obviously from her dad, so you guys can take this for what you want, that during the custody hearings that he would go in and he would in front of the judge, like have like a heavy accent and just, so simple. And, but then the dad says, but he spoke perfect English, and there was like, it was not his character at all. Like he literally was acting in front of the judges, and the judge bought it.
Right. He's too close to dual citizenship. No way. No way.
And it's not even just the dual citizenship. It's the fact that it's Brazil. That's scary.
He takes that baby and goes. They're not coming back. Not over there.
No. And his mom is supposedly either there or was on like a vacation to an island around there. And yeah, we have a picture of him.
He has to have some family back there, even if it's just cousins and things. He has family.
Yeah, I would say flight risk, but
for sure. Do we have a picture of him?
He's not scared. Yeah, we have a picture of him. Christine has it. I don't know if she's still a robot.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I've been not wanting to talk for like 20 minutes.
No, you sound perfectly fine now.
Yeah.
Can you throw up the picture of him real quick before we talk about some other case updates?
No, my computer is not able to right now.
Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Let me see.
It was doing way too much. I literally had to let it cool down.
She was busy all day. Okay, let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, now I'm not a robot anymore. Maybe I did it on purpose. So.
Yeah, just so because you don't want to be the PowerPoint. Let me see, Marcus.
Yeah, we're gonna have a chat about the PowerPoint after this.
Whatever.
I'm gonna break my computer.
Maybe I'll just start making the PowerPoints. That's what I used to do. I used to actually just put it all on a PowerPoint and then share it all. Grab a photo of him. And then back over here. That's not what I wanted to do. Where did you guys go? There you are. I lost you for a second. At your chair again?
No, that wasn't me. That was. Don't blame me.
Okay, not that one.
Hi, Duggan.
Duggan and Dockerin.
Duggan and
Let's see. I can't get it to pull up though.
What is Marcus claiming?
There we go. I have to take that off. That's him.
He doesn't match what I thought.
No, he doesn't really. No, I know.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I do
All
not
right, so
get that baby.
I know.
You can't get that baby today.
Everybody just take a moment and say a prayer for her family. All right, let's see. Sorry I've spelled your name wrong in every single comment till now. It'll be correct going forward. I just noticed that. Aww. That's so funny. She Barbara was thinking it was going to be a black guy. Jeanette's thinking it was going to be a short Hispanic fella.
That's what I thought.
He's actually like a tall looking dorky white dude.
Looks like what's the guy's name? Patrick what?
Crazy.
I was like, why do I want to say Swayze? And I'm like, that's not it though.
Patrick Swayze. You want to do a little dirty dancing? All right, let me get rid of this. Anything else that you guys want to talk about with this case before we talk about some updates on some other cases? Let's see. Stop screen. There we go.
You definitely need
think it's this one. Yep, I did it right. Look at me.
Go Chico. Go Chico.
I know. I'm like StreamYard master now. I wouldn't go that far, but you know, it's getting there.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Christine's like, no, you're not. Okay. Let's see. Make sure I'm looking at the actual chat. Michelle, I know that you have
got some
updates for us.
Ma'am. Okie dokie. I touched on Lena, I believe, last week just a little bit, but I just kind of want to reintroduce her. Lena is a 4-year-old little girl. She is from San Antonio, Texas. She has been missing since December 20th. She and her family fled here in 2019. There was many threats posed on their family in Afghanistan, so they made their way over to here. They have lived a pretty comfy life here. They love it here. And on the 20th, Lena was playing in her playground park in her apartment complex with her mom. Her mom is pregnant and also has a 2-year-old sister, has a 2-year-old daughter, Lena's sister. The mom walked away for about 15 to 18 minutes to use the restroom. And then that's when Lena disappeared. They're working with an 18-minute gap that they need tons of help on. Lena is seen on camera at 4:49. And then when the camera picks back up, I believe it's 5:08, 5:09, Lena is no longer there. So they feel something in that time frame must have went down then. The father and the family advocate. Now, I think she's doing an amazing job. Some people question her motives and what she's doing behind this case.
Is she actually an advocate, or is she just like the family spokesperson?
She is now. She is now.
Okay.
She's been advocating. About 3 years ago, she was working with the case, had some legal issues with it, and I guess stepped down. Her husband kind of took over her site, it seemed, and then she picked back up with this Lena case. She had hired them an interpreter because they speak broken English. Because of their beliefs, mom will probably not be seen on camera, so dad does the majority of the speaking with the family advocate. So as of right now, we have nothing on Lena. Thing is, 2 days prior to Lena's disappearance, there was a rape that had happened in broad daylight in the office of the next apartment complex. There's like 3 or 4 apartment complexes that sit around each other. And there is a post circulating from a few of the neighbors from different apartment complexes that Lena has, like, this is nothing new. Lena runs around. This is what she does. She's always out by herself. Mom's always in the house. Dad's out with the other guys. Because they're part of the Afghan community, I personally feel like it's a little bit of judgment because, you know, when you're from other parts of the country, children do go outside and play in their bare feet and things like that. They're not going to always, it's just not, you know. So
So are they being judged because she was outside with like no shoes on?
I think a lot of that's coming from that. They're calling her dirty and the mother is dirty, and it's just so, like, I don't know. She's a 4-year-old little girl. That's the other thing too. They're questioning her age. She looks about 5 or 6, but on her birth certificate, she is 4. They celebrated her 4th birthday, I believe, a week or 2 after she went missing. But
that's not uncommon.
No, not at all.
Was she born here, or did she come over?
She was born there. She was born there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a girl that I used to work with, a good friend of mine. She has 2 birthdays. One was in January, which was her actual day that she was born, and then July 4th, which is the birth date that she was given. So she has 2 birthdays, 2 totally different years.
When they live in those little remote villages, sometimes there just is no birth certificate. So when they come here, sometimes they delay the age a little bit, you know, for whatever reason. But
that's also the date they come over.
That too.
You know what I mean? So it's not uncommon. Okay.
I agree. So basically, between this neighbor and a few other neighbors have picked it up as well, putting out these posts, it's kind of been the apartment complexes against the family and the Afghan community. Now, the community has raised over $250,000 for anything leading to Lena. Yeah.
That's the reward?
That's the reward. That's the reward.
Okay.
Amber Alert has been discontinued as of January 25th, but it's still a completely open investigation. As of right now, they were looking into a bunch of what do they call them? The ones that go long haul, those type of truckers.
Long haul drivers?
Yes. On the outside of the apartments.
You'll get me later for that.
On the outside, on the outside of the apartments, apparently they're little mini rest stops where they can hang out for a little bit, and they do. So they're kind of just been all over digging into that. They made it to a homeless site across from Lena's apartment complex, and they did dig up some evidence. That's what the chief called it. He said it's the type of evidence that looks like it was meant to be thrown away or was attempted to be thrown away, whatever that means. And that's kind of been the last update. So I am just asking anyone. I normally post her picture in the Facebook group, but if you guys can, please just hit that share button. Please get her out there. There's still huge hope that Lena is out there somewhere.
When did she go missing again?
December 20th.
Of 2021?
Yeah, I'm sorry, this year.
Yeah, so like almost 4 months, or it is 4 months.
Yes.
Like December 10th. Yeah, 3 months.
The father has had 2 gatherings outside the police department. She's her case is totally losing momentum. Here's something that I kind of caught, but I'm a little off with their, she does wear a veil, and they're saying that in the veil, when you see the red stitching or the gold stitching, that represents that she's a future bride or potential bride or something like that. So there's been a lot of rumors and things that she was either sold or something.
A child does that?
Now, I don't know how much, but supposedly, according to their religion and whatnot, that's what that means.
Huh.
I personally think there's just a lot of hate out for this family. And I feel like mom's being judged for everything that she's, I guess.
Are people suspecting the parents did something to her?
I think they think that they're hiding her, racking up the reward money. They actually think it's the entire community. Like they call them the gang of guys. And they say that they're always cutting corners, moving certain ways, whatnot. But if you
really,
you're right. But the guys are like, we work all day. We come together at the mosque to do our, and it's just.
Well, I mean, but the cameras picked her up. She was on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have had to have really been strategic about putting her on camera, then taking her. You know what I mean? Like that would have been really planned out. Otherwise, it could just be like, oh, well, she's gone. She's left from the apartment. No idea where she went.
Yep.
Seems like there'd be a lot easier ways to do that, in my opinion. Not that I would ever do it, but I'm just thinking like that wouldn't, I don't know. Or maybe that's part of the thing.
Well, that's the thing too. She only speaks her language. So if she was taken in a sense where nothing was seen or went down, that's why they originally assumed for the first, I believe, hour and a half, 2 hours, that she was with another Afghan family, because there's, it's a whole community inside these apartment complexes. So it's almost like, she just went to another family member's house or another close friend's house. And they realized about 2 hours later that was not the case. That concerns me as well. I don't know if I never completely followed it. Obviously, I've seen like her missing flyers and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you do, and that you have the updates so that we can keep an eye on it. Actually, that's the general sentiment it feels that I have in certain location in Tennessee too. But there's not a huge reward there, surprisingly. No. But I don't even know who would collect it. But the church, I don't even know. That's a whole nother. Yeah. That's a whole nother ball game that every week I end up back there and I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, so
that's where little Lena is. We're possibly working on getting Dad to come up and maybe with the family advocate to get Lena's name out there a little bit more. But if you guys,
Lena does not speak any English, not even like a little bit.
Well, she knows a little bit, but her what is it? Her main language is
Arabic.
From Pakita Province in Afghanistan.
Okay.
I cannot even pronounce what her language is called. It's like shot or something like that. I can't even say it. I can't pronounce the word. It's like
It's got to be some type of Arabic, I would assume.
Right.
Okay. And then I know you wanted to talk about a positive case. I mean, it's obviously the cases are never positive, but the outcome is actually much better than what we're. Is it Farsi?
Who?
Is the language Farsi?
There we go.
Is it Farsi? Look at that.
Yep, there we go.
A lot of people don't believe in what you just pointed out, but many of them do, and deeply so. My son was in Jersey processing refugees, and we have to do better with assimilation.
I agree.
I totally agree with that.
Yep.
I'm just saying there are a lot of people out there that do.
I agree.
Hey, Natasha.
Hi, Natasha. Of course. Absolutely. I think she's touched many around the whole country, and I think it's making its way pretty global now. I know that there's a lot of other countries that are covering it in their news too.
Yeah, very beautiful friend.
You have a very beautiful friend. Very beautiful friend, very beautiful friend's daughter.
An amazing mommy too, for sure.
Hi, Smalls.
So I watched like a mini documentary. I don't know where. I'm sure YouTube, but they were talking about like the refugees, like especially they were talking about coming into San Francisco, Teresa. You know, when that whole thing, when we pulled out of Iraq, wherever we were at. Sorry, I'm gonna get all my countries mixed up, but yeah, when we pulled out, when all the troops came home, and there was like all that stuff going on at the airports and stuff, like it was just going really crazy, and they were talking about the impact, like the long-term impact of not paying enough attention to the children that are coming into American schools, and how that like affects the whole, like their whole lifetime outcome, like the whole generation is going to be so affected by that. And they were like comparing it to like Manzanar, when the children were in the camps in California, and then they come out and like just have this really hard time rolling with American society. So I totally believe in that that's a big deal.
Great. I think they were just in their own little, they made their own little worlds here too. And, they connect through those apartment complexes, and just uncomfortable with the 2 hours, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, possibly. She's 4 years old, 2 hours is just too
4
long.
or 6 years old. It really irrelevant in that whole point,
It's 2 hours. 2 hours too long.
Okay, so we want to talk about the case that actually has a very good outcome. The case itself still very traumatic, but a good outcome. So
yes, this case is Betty Sue Taylor from Arizona. Jennifer and Danielle, great help with this. They did a lot of research into this, and luckily she was found. So she was reported missing on March 20th by her father. She told Dad that she was going out for a walk. That was around 11 a.m. At around 6 p.m. when she still wasn't home, father then decided to call. She was last seen off of Thunderbird Highway, I-91. Law enforcement had put out helicopter search dogs, drones, officers on horseback. Everyone was out looking for Betty. Here, Betty had met up with, I forgot his name already, with a Timmy. Timmy's from South Carolina. They're not 100% sure exactly how they met up and how he got her there. But Timothy, mom thinks that they met on Facebook. She knows Betty has had multiple social media accounts and talks to multiple people. She just had a conversation with her child about this not that long ago. So when Dad called to report, Timmy was on ankle monitor as well. And he has at least 3 or 4 charges stemming all the way back from, I believe, 2017. He tends to pick up minor girls, essays them, arrest it. He bonds out that day. He's done this about 3 or 4 times. Again, this time around, he had the ankle monitor on. So when sheriff was able to obtain a warrant, they got a warrant for him and his apartment. They went right to the apartment, and luckily there was Betty. Betty was taken right to the hospital. She's completely fine. Her family says she's back to making jokes. They're not talking too much about it now. They've been pretty quiet. But Timmy's friend has made multiple statements and says that Timothy is an amazing person, and he doesn't understand how any of this is him. I had to throw that in there. Yeah.
Isn't that what they all say?
Mm-hmm. I should make sure I see that. So basically, Betty's mom has a nice message for all of us, that it doesn't matter how old your child is, check their social media accounts, know who their friends are, even when they're hidden.
Well, I mean, I think it does matter at some point. Like, you can't go around like, I don't want my mom like checking.
No,
my
it doesn't.
social media.
I'll check Lexi's forever.
Well, yeah, you can't. Well, there's a certain point that's got to
No,
stop.
there's not.
Like, you cannot.
No. It's 22. 22, and I know. No.
22?
22.
Take it away.
I don't know, man. If like my mom and dad were like, okay, let me see your phone so we could check your social media accounts, I'd be like,
it's a little stalkerish of the mom, but you know, we gotta do sometimes. You know.
At her age, absolutely. I mean, she was what, 12?
Yes. And
yeah.
These guys.
Yeah,
Look how
no
old
doubt.
Timmy was. It was almost like he preyed on her, and he's done this so many times before.
The guy shouldn't even be out being able to do any of this.
I think it was Danielle or Jen who found out that he had the ankle monitor on when it happened, when they ran into his apartment.
That guy, there's not a lot of rehabilitation for people.
If Hanson was still around.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, that was it. She was taken home yesterday. Dad brought her home. She's back home, safe and sound. Wonderful. Some good news.
That's why I'm like, it's nice to have ones that you feel like maybe won't end up, very well. That just it does. They're okay and everything is fine, and that's Betty.
Gives us hope again. It reinstalls that because we lose it a lot of the time, especially for.
You guys remember a couple months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, there was that girl that I forget which state she was from, but she had been spotted in like New York, like on the subway, and the mom went there and was in New York, like on this, like up and down the subways, riding the subways, just looking for her for like months. And then one day the girl called her and she was okay. And I think she ended up being like in California or something like at that time, but they went and got her, and then they posted a few pictures, and it was just like, oh, so happy. Like,
yeah.
And she was like
how old was this kid?
I think she was like 19. I don't think she was a kid. She was like 19 or 20, but she went missing, and like she had a
I don't
like
remember
an ex
that.
or something that was she was afraid of. So she was like hiding from him. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be in the next blooper reel.
Chaos over there. It's just chaos. Okay. Well, I think that brings us to talking about Naomi. I don't know. This one's good. This is like so hard for me because I like was so attached to like her, and I just really, really was hoping that she was going to be somewhere safe. And you guys didn't see the update. They unfortunately did find Naomi deceased in a shallow grave, which was actually about an hour away from the Walmart that she was taken from. We've discussed this story last week, so if you guys want the full story, more than well, it's still up. You guys can go watch it. They had arrested Troy Driver for her kidnapping. They'd actually arrested him last Friday, right when we were about to go live, and he had his bond hearing and everything this week. And they had. It's kind of weird because they say they found that like they received a tip that led them to the area, and then the investigation led them to finding the shallow grave. There's some things that I find kind of disturbing in the terminology in the way that it's worded, but I won't go too deep into that because I don't want to be all grotesque. But there's some. They found this grave on Tuesday. They could not verify that it was actually Naomi till Wednesday, and it wasn't like the family. According to the family, I should say. Obviously, I wasn't there. According to the family, they did not know for sure. So there wasn't even like a preliminary. Like a lot of the times when they find a body and they're like, we obviously we believe it's XYZ, and they tell the family we believe it's XYZ. But this one was like a little different. They didn't confirm it to the family until Wednesday.
Casey put out a statement, I believe, yesterday. He just doesn't understand why Naomi, her bolo was not out on Saturday when he called it in. And he's
okay. So yeah, so that's that one that kind of bothers me too. So he's telling the story like that he doesn't report it till Sunday. So
Casey
he doesn't actually report it till Sunday night. He reports it Sunday night, and they don't put out the bolo until Monday. So she technically goes missing on Saturday, but because of their work schedules, he doesn't notice that she's not there until Sunday night, which is when he calls it in. And then he and his girlfriend go down to the Walmart and actually view the footage themselves. So he's really wanting to like get this, trust the family hashtag going, where it's like the family can tell you the patterns of what their loved one is doing, and you should be able to trust that they would know, and that this is not normal behavior of this person, and take the report and do something with it immediately. Now, do we know that would have changed anything? No, because at this point we haven't been told her cause of death. We haven't been told her time of death. They did say that they know her cause of death at this point, but they're not going to release it due to the investigation. But that, he was charged actually today with open murder, which is basically where the judge or jury, whatever trial he chooses, if he chooses a jury trial or just the judge, that they have the range, that they have the ability to go within the range of murder. So they have the choice of what he should actually be convicted of. So it's open murder, like they can go second degree or you could go first degree. It's up to them. But it was murder with a deadly weapon. So we can kind of infer that. He still has the kidnapping. Let me look it up. There was other ones as well.
What about
destruction of evidence?
What about the girlfriend?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet on her. So it says that he's been charged with robbery, burglary, destruction of evidence, and then he still has the kidnapping charge. So the tip is kind of different because you typically don't hear like law enforcement say that they received a tip if it's not from an outside source. Normally they would say that they have, throughout their investigation, it led them to XYZ. So I don't know, but people are kind of going back and forth on if this tip was actually something that was called in or not. And they have not said.
Where did they find her at?
I can tell you.
Was it at that campground?
No, it's like out. It's out. It's actually out by a prison, ironically.
Which one? In Fallon or no?
No. I'm going to tell you right now. Not right now, right now. Right now in a second. Right now. When I find it on my phone.
We have all night.
So it's in Churchill County. It's off of, what is the name of that darn road? Coal Canyon Road and Prison Road.
That's because Cool's not that far from me. I mean, it's kind of in between Reno and here and my town.
Churchill or Reno?
Cool, the town of Cool is
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so it's in Churchill County off of Coal Canyon Road.
Coal Canyon or Cool? Like you're cool or
coal, like COAL, like coal, like a coal miner.
Got it.
Let's see. Jeanette, I thought of you too when they found her. I just had a connection with her. I thought that she was gonna be okay. I started to get nervous after they arrested him and they didn't find her immediately alive somewhere, because obviously you get concerned that he'd already killed her, and then you get concerned that wherever he's keeping her, there's no food, no water. I don't know. So I was worried that it was going to end up that way. And so, but Damn, I was
I
really
don't think
hoping.
we know who called the tip in, right?
We don't know who called the tip in. We don't
But
even
we
know if
do
it's
know
actually.
there was a coworker.
So the coworker that had done the lives, his name's Joel. There's a couple mines that he said that he thought that maybe Troy had dropped some evidence around, but Naomi was not found by those mines. Now, is there evidence around those mines? Maybe, because they still didn't have her cell phone either. If he planned it, shouldn't it be first degree? Yes. Not every state actually allows open murder. Normally it is a particular charge, but Nevada is one of them that allows open murder so that the jury can actually decide. It's somewhat beneficial because if you pay attention to like some other cases, then the prosecutor charges them incorrectly, which actually makes them found not guilty because the jury can't find them guilty of that particular murder charge. So this one allows them to say, okay, his crime actually meets XYZ criteria and he should be charged with this. Her parents' background and political station with that very area at war just now. Coincidence? Sorry, but I don't believe in coincidence, especially not worldly ones like that. Christine actually brought this up last week.
What?
About her being a diplomat's daughter.
Oh yeah. Well, but I don't know because I think the guy's background just has nothing to. I mean, I just don't know why he would be involved with some political shenanigans. I don't know. I don't see how that. Like, I don't see the connection there. But I guess
we don't know yet. I mean, they're very well
we don't
could
know.
So I have to ask you guys, do you guys think that this is the first time that this man has done something like this?
No way.
He has charges, or he had charges when he helped his ex-girlfriend.
I thought it was his sister.
Was it the sister or the ex-girlfriend? I think it's the ex-girlfriend, because she shot and killed the meth dealer, I believe, and then he helped her cover that up.
I was saying it was the sister and her ex-boyfriend. I don't know. There's so much going on in my brain that I'm probably mixing them up.
Troy was sentenced to 15 years for his role in the 1997 murder and several other violent crimes. He pled guilty to 3 charges: second-degree robbery, firearm charges, and second-degree burglary, and 1 charge of accessory to murder after the fact. He was 17 years old, and he helped dispose of the body of the meth dealer.
Oh, jeez.
So this is different case, but that reminds me of something. You guys remember the
Jennifer, you're back just in time. We're talking about Naomi.
Well, no, I'm about to change the subject. Sorry. No, we can
cancel that, Jennifer.
Naomi.
Cancel that. And help with Betty. She helped me with Betty. She was doing Betty.
Mm-hmm. Remember the women that everybody thought, oh, did Brian Laundrie do it while he was in Moab or whatever?
Oh yeah, Kylene and
yeah. So I found out that Crystal is the smaller, older one, right? I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it's Crystal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that I saw like all the newspaper clippings or whatever from when it happened, but she had been in prison for accessory to murder. She was in prison for like a long time. Like
Crystal
a long time. Yeah, for a long time. She was in prison.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I was like, man, like nobody really talks about that. Like, I mean, what if it wasn't just a random thing, you know? Like, what if it was something? Because she, I think, like helped set it up at a hotel. Like, she called the guy to come, and then he ended up being shot. And then I think she testified against the other, like, you know, she helped convict them, and then she got out. Yeah, so it was like a whole thing.
I'll have to look more into that. I never fully looked into that case.
Yeah, I'll send you if I can find them on my phone's history or whatever. But I'll send you the articles and stuff. It was all over the news at the time when it happened and everything.
Dang. Well, I mean, I think since she was a victim, I think you could infer that there's a possibility that maybe something it was nefarious from before that. But This one, I don't know, dude, because I just feel like this guy is like, I'm going with Curious Cat here. Like, I think there's a lot of unsolved cases in that area that they need to look for some connections.
Totally agree.
Hi, SoCal Cat Lady. I think that there's something more to it. And Miss K. So yeah, so that's another thing that kind of came up. It was a February 4th or February 9th.
Yes.
That in that same Walmart parking lot, there was a man, but he was in the passenger seat of like a silver, looked like a Camry or something. You guys can tell me if you guys actually know the right car, but it was like a 4-door sedan. And he was following this person around as she was walking her dogs. And she ended up getting in her car and recording him and did call the police and everything. She got up, on the pictures, it looks similar to Troy.
Yep.
And it's in the exact same like parking lot, parking area. It was the 4th. Okay, thank you guys.
She gets him right as he goes to sit back in the car. It's
very, very similar to that, to his look, which is really creepy. And then there's been a few other circumstances that have come out with people that he worked with, even at Ledcor, that has said that they changed shifts because of him, because he creeped them out. One person said that they quit because of him. Another person, he's not in the passenger seat, Jennifer?
I thought he was in there too.
Okay, we're gonna have to touch on that in a second. The one of the clerks that worked at that Love's gas station where Naomi actually was that morning said that he creeped her out so much and that he would be out back, like when she would like go out back, he would be out there. And so she quit. These are obviously, this is Facebook stuff. Take it for what you want it. This is not confirmed by law enforcement, but people are coming forward saying that this guy's been kind of creepy to them for a long time. And let me see. Okay, so he's not in the passenger seat. When he stopped in front of her, he leaned over the passenger window.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's like over
it.
here? He looks really close to that window to not be in the passenger seat. I'm going to have to look at that again.
Yeah, I mean, the picture is, but you could see it's Troy's makeup for the most part.
Yeah, Gray has a video up of him like with a real close up. The only thing I don't understand is Joel, the coworker, said that he had just shaved his beard recently. The picture in the car, which is over a month ago, the guy looks like he has the same goatee.
And the bald head. You could totally see the
I was like, I don't know. But I mean, really, it's definitely something to look at because that's pretty uncanny that he's right there.
And he has like a thing with grave sites, like when he helped dispose of the body, he dug the grave, put the person in the grave. Same thing with Naomi. They headed to a grave site of hers. He has a.
So then that brings, did he take her car and then bring it back? We still don't know that. Did he take her car all the way out there where she was found? Does he take her to a third location? I mean, I still have a ton of questions about that and what happened. The sides were shaved. Okay, so you can see him move back. I guess I've only seen still shots. Did somebody actually play the whole video?
Yeah, I didn't see a video.
Okay, so Gray posted the video up close. See, I only saw the still shots, so I'm gonna have to go look for that then.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Because in the still shots, he just looks like he's right in the passenger seat.
It's totally him.
Did you guys see all the YouTubers with their April Fool's jokes today?
No, I didn't do any. Should I have done something? I saw Scott Reich.
Yeah,
Scott
that
Reich
one was
said
good.
that he was leaving Crime Talk, and he's going to be a full bulldog daddy, full-time bulldog daddy.
I'm so glad I didn't send you guys the link, like an idiot. But who was it? Like Popcorn Planet or something had this like car chase going on, and was like, "It's Jesse Smollett just robbed a Subway."
It's interesting that some video has been withheld from the original surveillance. I think so too. Well, I'm still not sold that he was by himself.
That's why I think there's a third. There's an in between location from that grave site, and I believe somebody was there helping him. I still think even that night when he abducted, he's looking off to something, and maybe I'm just fully crazy and it's Naomi. But
did you see Did you see that? Like before the girlfriend took her Facebook down. I mean, I went and spied. I know you guys did too. But she had this weird quote, like was like her like tag title line or whatever, something about like life sucks, but then you go to hell anyway. So I don't know. It was just weird. It was like this really weird vibe quote, and I was just like, eeh.
Oh, see, that's where, because the case with Cassie, Marcus has one that he posted a while ago that's like about has like coffins, and then it has him like a picture of a dude dumping a body wrapped in garbage bags off the side of a boat. Mm-hmm.
Side of a boat.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? Oh, and then going back to Cassie for just a hot minute, Marcus in like I think it was like 2014 was looking for how to disable like your GPS in your car so it didn't track you. Obviously, it was a few years ago. It was before Sailor was even born, but still.
Oh my God! Please don't go back in my Google history.
Oh, I know.
Please don't let any of my friends or
He was like
anybody
posting
around me go
videos. He was like
missing.
posting videos asking for like advice and like how to talk and or commenting on videos and stuff. I was all over her page. I'm pretty sure almost everybody was, which is probably why she shut it down.
Yeah.
Jeanette, I'll watch
Gray
later when you
find
that live.
Now her
He's doing
profile
some
picture,
weird
or it was an
motions with
evil
his
eye.
hands, almost like what? Weird. Or maybe he felt like she was being weird, and so he was like, "What? Like, what's wrong with you?
Playing it off. You're right.
Like, why are you photographing me? Why are you videotaping me?"
What's so weird about just trying to get a picture of somebody?
Has
Walmart,
he weird
loud.
up? And it's talking. I don't think so.
So, I don't know. My prayers absolutely go out to her family. Her family's like the epitome of if something happens to me, it's exactly what I want you guys all to do. They were honest. They were forward. They were putting her name out. They were on different social media platforms, making sure that her name was in the limelights and never forgotten. And her family did amazing for her. I don't know what Christine's got something going on over there.
Is this that April Fool's? Oh.
It's a premiere video. Okay. Like he was trying to get her attention, like he wanted to tell her something was wrong with her car. Oh, probably. Oh yeah, that sounds accurate. Sounds like something he would do. Like, hey, no, you need to pull over so I can help you with whatever. It's kind of like
your headlights out.
You're a robot again, Christine.
It really does because of her avatar too.
So I know she wanted to touch on Maya's case, but why is she still a robot? She might have to hop out and come back in. I want to take the girls out and do a self-defense class. Oh yeah,
right.
Unfortunate that that's necessary instead of teaching men and human beings to actually act like human beings. You have to do something to defend yourself. It's the epitome of what's wrong with all of this. We're teaching the wrong people the wrong things, but we have to teach it out of necessity.
The world we live in. Oh.
All right, so how many people here follow Suzanne Morphew? This is going to be pretty quick. You're a robot, Christine. I muted you. Just a quick update from what's happened this last week with the Suzanne Morphew case. For anybody who's not following it, it's Suzanne Morphew is the mother from Salida, Colorado, that went missing on Mother's Day, or was reported missing on Mother's Day of 2020. Her husband, Barry Morphew, is actually, his trial is going to be starting pretty close to the darn anniversary, the 2-year anniversary of when she went missing. He was actually arrested right around the 1-year anniversary of when she went missing. This week, the judge has decided that like 12 of the 14 expert witnesses will not be able to testify. But I want to clarify, they cannot testify They cannot testify as expert witnesses. That does not mean they can't actually still testify. There is, I don't know, they're all barking and playing and doing whatever. There is one expert witness Yes, baby. Who let her out? There's one expert witness that's actually the dog handler. Let me get rid of this real quick while she comes and goes.
With Missy.
The dog handler that was actually out at Suzanne's house the day that she was reported missing, I believe it was actually that night, on May, I think it was May 11th. That dog handler had actually filled out a report that they did not turn over to the prosecution, and therefore the prosecution did not turn it over to the defense. And so that's a Rule 16, which is, the Brady violation, exculpatory evidence or any evidence, anything like that has to be turned over to the defense. Well, even though the prosecution didn't have it, they're deeming it their responsibility that they were supposed to get it because that's the person they're having testify. So they should have all of his supporting documentation to be able to give to the defense. So this guy cannot testify unless he testifies, unless the defense wants him to testify. The other expert witnesses, there's a few different things, like the veterinarian, things like that they're not allowing them to testify as experts. They can still testify, but it won't actually be considered expert testimony, but they can still tell their credentials and stuff. So to me, I was thinking, does it really matter if they're not experts? Because anybody who goes up on the stand that's saying, I have 40 years of experience in XYZ, the jury's still going to go, okay, I'm going to listen to you. So I don't know how much it's actually going to matter, but it did feel like a little bit of a, gut punch against the prosecution because they're already struggling, in my opinion, with this whole case, and I worry about the outcome.
He could bail out.
Well, he's out. I mean, he is bailed out.
That's right.
Yeah, he's bailed out. He's been bailed out and doing whatever he wants to do, pretty much. But
I'm looking at Troy's paperwork. I'm like, wait, did he bail out?
Yeah, no, Troy is not bailed out yet, but the family is concerned that he might. I know that's why I said it gets a little bit confusing with all of them. But so I think Barry has a couple more motions hearings, including the motion to dismiss that the defense has, keeps putting up. And then his trial actually starts here in I think it's 5 weeks.
I've seen the girls with them.
Always.
Yep, arm in arm.
Always.
Do I sound okay now?
Yes, you sound much better.
Okay. He should have taken like how Rob Wood did with the Vallow case, and they brought in that other prosecutor. Yeah. And
so they do have a new prosecutor there now, who apparently is really good. They have a new prosecutor there now. Yeah.
Yeah, because they
even during the fight, even during that motion, I guess the judge even said you're doing a great job arguing, but basically the rules of law state I have no other choice. Even though I understand what you're saying and you've done a great job, it really doesn't matter. So, but that's a case that we followed since I think it hit social media, so it's something that we'll continue to follow.
Did you all see the video that who was it? Did ATS post it with Dawn Wells and Candace, and it looks like a red truck?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I think it's on her channel. I hope so, but yeah, and the title of the video is Dawn Wells driving the red truck, and I mean it really does look exactly like that kind of Toyota.
Seriously?
Yeah. And
all right, I'll have to look at it.
December or something. I think that I might hear summer. I definitely hear kids in the background, but I don't know if I definitely hear summer. But yeah, super shady.
So what's going on with Maya? I don't know. Is there an update with that?
I don't know. I was asking you.
Oh, you said you wanted to talk
what's
about
your
Maya.
job? I have to do the research too.
You just said I want to talk about Maya. I thought maybe you had something new that you knew.
Yeah, I wanted you to update me.
I'm like, what did she know?
Oh, let's see. The biggest update. Okay, so anybody who doesn't remember Maya Millete, she's actually from Chula Vista, California. I think you're just trying to quiz me on how many facts I can keep stored in my brain at the same time and keep them straight. Okay, Maya Millete went missing January. Oh, January 7th, January of 2021. January of 2021. In Chula Vista. Oh, geez. Look at that. She's judging me. I think she's judging me. Not the judge, and then there's the judge. Not the judge. We need to switch spots.
Remember, I was really offended when you told me they wouldn't let me be the judge. Yes,
You're not the judge. You're not the judge.
I am the judge.
So, goodness. So Maya went missing in January of 2021. It was a very suspicious circumstances. Once again, husband ends up arrested. Most of you guys are probably pretty familiar with this case, I think. The biggest update that I know of is the sister is still having, I don't know why he let this dog out. Still having weekly searches in the area. If you are in Southern California and you want to search, you just sign up and you can show up to the meeting spot. They did actually get an expert to come in and help with the search teams, where they were able to, unfortunately, her sister's search teams were kind of just searching anywhere and just gridding it out and putting on a map like, okay, we searched over here. So they got an expert that actually came in and helped them to figure out like where to, like the GPS on his truck shows that he searched for his home address when he was 2.5 hours away from his home. So the experts came in and said, these are the locations that would be the 2.5 hour spots that he could have GPS, because the car isn't actually saying where he was when the GPS came in, but they know that he had left the house for like 11.5 hours that day based on the security cameras at his house. So they've narrowed down search areas, but there's still nothing conclusive that's happened with it. Larry does still sit behind bars, which to me is okay.
Where's the kids?
The children actually live at the house with his parents, but her family now does have legal visitation.
That's good.
So as of, I think it was like November of last year. Let's see. Okay, let me check chat.
The last time I was into it, they were just going over the gunshots. Anything else come out of that? That's how far behind I am.
Gunshots are not confirmed to be gunshots.
Really?
Law enforcement never confirmed them to be gunshots. The weird thing that was confirmed was the 10:30 where the kids were playing outside that night that she went missing.
Yes.
When they had school the next day.
Right. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Sure.
Well,
take off. That's fine.
Bye, T. So
what else do you want to talk about?
Let's see. So wait, these were not gunshots?
I think they were.
Right? I thought there was 8 gunshots.
Well, those people that did the like analysis on it, that was like that was like a YouTube channel.
Oh.
I think they might do like forensic audio analysis like in general, but they weren't like doing it for the police department or anything.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that because remember they did the same kind of forensic analysis for the shooting in Las Vegas.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's totally possible to forensically identify a gunshot.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I'm sure they know. They just haven't told us.
Yeah. But wasn't that video that was put out about the gunshots was not what I just totally lost my train of thought. Whatever.
Yeah, it's because I'm so pretty. It's because my skin looks so awesome.
Look at my cat.
Ken, you're so sweet.
I know. Barry's got better lawyers. Yeah, Barry does have better lawyers than Larry does.
Yes.
Let me see. I want to see what else I missed in chat. If one of the wrenches, can you guys grab that video and put it in chat? It'll have a link if it's in video. I mean, it'll have a link if it's a wrench that posts it. It'll have a link if it's in video. See, this is 2-hour mark.
Happening.
And then got Christine over here trying to judge me on how much information I can store in my brain.
Trying to quiz you.
Never gonna work.
Well, I mean,
you did good though. You did good.
I don't think I got the date right, but
that's fine. Next time I'll do all the research and the PowerPoint.
whatever.
I'll do this alone.
Whatever. I thought you had something. You were like, let's talk about her this week. And I was like, oh,
And
Christine must have like an update, and I hadn't seen
gonna
one,
be
so
your
I was
week off.
totally for
I'll
it.
be going over the Scott Peterson case.
Oh, I will take care of the Scott Peterson
She's
case.
so
Just
ready for
calm
that
down.
case. She's so ready.
Just calm down over there.
He's guilty.
No, not the judge. That's you. You're not the judge.
We don't know how to do all this stuff.
Oh, goodness. Jennifer, did we talk about the open murder charge and what that means in Nevada? Yes, a little bit. Basically, that the judge, jury will get to have more of a say-so in which one they can find him guilty of. I'm afraid Barry's going to walk. I am worried. The smartest thing the prosecution could do is, if they feel that way, is to drop it right now. If they are concerned that he is going to walk, they could drop it right now, wait for more evidence, and then bring it again. Otherwise, he gets off. That's it. It's done. Doesn't matter what they find. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter who comes forward. It's done.
He's gonna OJ.
So there's something that's weird with the daughters there, though. I have such a hard time with that. I'm sorry, but if my dad was, no matter what, the dude, the dude lied about the stuff he was doing when he was at the hotel. And you know that he made all these different trash runs. You know dad isn't telling you the truth or something about whatever. I don't know how you can say like, oh yeah, well, oh, mom cheated. So, but it's
exactly
years. It's years of programming. And if there's anything I have learned throughout this whole thing on YouTube and all of this crap with drama and all this, is it's years of programming. And you, no matter what you think, cannot break the cycle if they don't want it broken. It's weird. It's crazy. It's sick. But
you see, those girls are almost, they're mad at their mom, who is no longer here almost. It's yeah. He totally put that.
Dahlia. I do. Only when Christine puts me on the spot, like I'm supposed to have all this info at the ready. It's brainwashing. It is. It's twisted. It's so twisted.
Thank you, Miss. Goring over there.
Thank you for posting that.
No, do you have the ATS one? The ATS video.
Oh, do you want me to go grab it? I'll grab it.
Oh yeah, that one. The one that that's what we were talking about at that time. But that's fine too, because the people can hear the gunshot video.
And great transparency for sure. Brainwashing of the child with the other parent.
Well, if this has happened their whole life, and that's what I imagine, obviously I have no proof. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I would imagine this has been their whole entire life. They don't know anything different.
We know what Suzanne went through and how he manipulated her. So we can only assume that the girls saw the same things, and it's their dad. Not their dad. Okay.
Yeah, ATS News has the red truck video.
We can share it.
Or we'll watch that, and then I gotta go pick up a kid from gymnastics. So let's watch ATS News.
She said we can. Thank you, ATS News.
She's been in and out. She won't mind. We love her. She loves us. I think.
Okay.
She does.
Holy moly! That's like a lake! That's like a lake!
Oh my gosh.
It happened this year again.
FBI officials say in the process of speaking with
Now, can
neighbors
we
about the
actually
night Summer
see?
disappeared, officials are looking for the driver of a Toyota pickup truck who was seen in the Beach Creek community either Monday or Tuesday of last week. The pickup is possibly a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack along the white buckets in the truck bed. They're looking to speak with the driver and want to stress that they are not a suspect but can be a potential witness. Summer went missing the night of June 15th from her Hawkins County home, and crews have been working day and night searching for the child, but still her whereabouts remain a mystery.
What a find. I don't know where it
That's
came
a good
from,
find.
but
Amber, I don't know if you're still in here, if you're
Clapping.
listening. That was a good find. That was on ATS?
Yeah.
She always does. Always.
Well,
Wow.
isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we could actually see if it had the ladder thing or whatever, see the outside of the truck, or is it just a red truck? I mean, obviously red trucks are fairly common, but that's still a very weird coincidence.
Whoever, I mean, so those kinds of old trucks are not a cheap truck. Like those are like sought after, like Yodas, that those specific years, like those are trucks that people want. So anybody that has like knowledge of, like, if you know somebody, if your boyfriend or whoever is into Toyotas and they see that video, I bet they'd be able to recognize like the steering column and stuff. Like, I want to know, is that a 98 to 2000 or whatever Toyota, whatever it was, Tacoma? That was ATS News. She posted it earlier today.
Yeah, can you drop that one in the link? The link in.
Oh yeah.
I flip and quit.
I agree, Jim.
The link in the chat.
Yes.
Pink Dahlia, my good friend's ex had a VFW and still has his daughters believing he did 4 tours of duty, that he's been stabbed, shot, awarded a Purple Heart. The truth is, he didn't even make it through boot camp and failed his psych test. And his kids still believe that.
Make those babies believe it's such a letdown when they turn into adults and they really get it. Those girls are still at an age where they don't have their own families yet. They don't know what it's like to be mom yet. They don't get that role yet. That's so weak to do.
They will though. They will though.
Yep. They'll get.
So,
well, my dad went on a date with Janet Jackson.
April Fools.
My dad was
Yes,
a storyteller
that's
too.
the thing. 18 and 9.
Cool
I can see that 18 and 9 believe that. Just like I can see that that Barry's kids being, in their early 20s, she's a freaking robot again. That's okay. I have to go pick up a kid from gymnastics, but as always, okay. So next week we actually have we're gonna do 2 lives. We have 1 live that we're gonna do on Oakley Carlson. We're gonna just go through the timeline from the beginning to the end. I felt like there was so much, and Michelle's been, so deep in that case, that there's so much information that I didn't want to just throw it into an update, especially like look at all the information we just threw out you guys right now. So we're gonna do a separate live just about Oakley Carlson, and then next week we'll come back and discuss, hopefully. Christine's like, I'm over it. Bye.
She's out.
Love you. And great job on the graphics.
Yes.
But so if you guys haven't already, if you wouldn't mind, hitting the like button, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be notified when we go live next week about Oakley and any follow-ups that we do on our Friday lives. We love hanging out with you guys. Like this is what it's for. 10 people, 1,000 people. It really doesn't matter to me as long as we are cohesive and we can talk and there's great dialogue and there's intelligence, and it's just, I don't know, it means the world to me. So I thank you guys so much for being here.
You're amazing.
I love you all. Love you all.
See you next week.